Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who has maybe been procrastinating or taking a little bit longer to take action on a decision than they should have, but they're finally walking away or ending a friendship or a relationship, going no contact with someone, and acknowledging that, like, I did my best, I tried to make this work, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you. And in that description box, you can also find out more information about the memberships, what content you get access to, and thank you to the current members. Let's start off with the noisy tarot, shall we? So we've got someone saying, bye, Felicia. Thank you, next. But it also says leaving and not caring. So it does seem to me like we have someone who has lost their interest or lost the positive, like, loving feelings they had. And instead it's just kind of a detached, like, I think I can do without this. Ten of Cups, Four of Swords in the reverse, and the Hierophant in the reverse. Yeah, end of a relationship after probably like cohabitation, living together or being married, that kind of thing. But because we have the Four of Swords in the reverse, there is resentment that built up over time or problems that were not handled the way that they needed to be. So it makes sense that we have someone who's saying, I'm over it, right? Like, I thought you were going to work on that, or I thought we could improve on this, and instead we're having the same arguments. Hey, Mamie, what's up? What else? The Star and the King of Cups with the Five of Wands. Same arguments over and over again. I feel like we have someone that had to address, you know, maybe some guilt over, if I end this relationship, I know things will be difficult. Maybe, you know, my family's going to judge me, or maybe my friends won't be my friends anymore, but I know what I need to do. So I think this is a difficult relationship ending situation, and that's why they procrastinated a bit, or you did, whoever you are in this reading. But the Hierophant's in the reverse because there's been a breakup. See you later. And just like I said at the beginning, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. I do feel like for the majority of you, that's what it is. But this could also be somebody where you're saying, you know, I've tried to be your friend, I've tried to be there for you, but it's hard for me to be able to trust that you're going to return that energy, or, you know, it's just hard to trust that person. But there's a breakdown in trust. Six of Wands in the reverse and the King of Pentacles. So if this is not going to work out, and I know that what I want is to be in a healthy connection or live somewhere where I don't have to walk around on eggshells, then I have to know when to call it. You know, I have to know when to keep it moving, because this doesn't feel like how it should, right? Hey, Aqua Beauty, how you doing? Hello, Josie, how's your day? This is the romantic Lenormand. Wow. Yeah, so this is very likely someone that you have lived with, or somebody that is in your inner circle. Again, I think for the majority of you, someone that you were dating and living with. But we have the, sorry, it was upside down, the Scythe, which talks about, of course, cutting things out of your life. So walking away from a connection, even though at one time you may have felt like safe around this person or things were going in the right direction, now it feels like they're not interested in repairing what has been broken, and that's frustrating. Hello, Tarot by Nature. Hello, Ruben. Hello, Erkin. How are we doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. Hello, Key Controller. How's your day? We've got the Crossroads, which is number 22, and the Mice, number 23. Interesting. So if I'm faced with an opportunity and I know that I need to make a choice, do I want to go this way or that way, right? Crossroads. I don't have as much motivation to go in the direction that you want to go in because it feels like you're not trying in the relationship. So you could have somebody who's deciding to move, and it's maybe a bigger move than just finding their own place, like an apartment or something, right? Hello, millionaire. How are you doing? Hello, Priyanka. Thank you for the tip. Current feelings from Mokuldev and next action. Excellent. I'm writing that down for you. Hey, Slidum, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Jep, how are you? I get that, Priyanka. All right, what do we have? The Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords talks about endings. Why? Because there's someone who was being dishonest. You know, being dishonest is something that can happen in a variety of ways. It doesn't always mean someone's been unfaithful. It doesn't always mean that someone is being vindictive. It could just mean that someone is like not accessible, right? Like you're not letting them in. Oh, thank you, Erkin. I appreciate that. Let me know if you'd like me to pull a few cards for you, Erkin. I would be happy to. And enjoy the gifted memberships, people. Welcome to the members. Hello, Bradman. How are you doing? Hello, ZM. Ooh, I missed one. Hello, Momentary. How are you? So this is someone who may have been making things sound better than they really were, or unwilling to address a conflict. And even if you do your best to avoid or ignore the elephant in the room, the elephant is still in the room. So either just avoidance of this argument or, you know, the necessary resolution to it, or, you know, actively being willing to go against promises that were made. Hello, Timmy. How are you doing? Hello, Monisha. Hello, John. Hello, Tara. Oh, I hope that changes, Wayne. We've got the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. Okay. There's a new beginning that is exciting for the person who's walking away, which I do believe is this Emperor. Because we had the Star clarified by the Emperor. This is someone who feels like they've healed from whatever made them accept this relationship or settle for someone who wasn't willing to, you know, have the appropriate conversations or be respectful in that connection. Now we have someone basically thinking, I think I want to go and do whatever makes me happy. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe I want to go and find my own place. Maybe I want to be in a different relationship. But because this is the Emperor clarifying the Star, I feel like this would be an individual who prioritizes or values that time of independence in between relationships. When you jump from relationship to relationship, you don't have a time or enough time to reclaim who you are without being attached to someone. And I think that's really important with regards to authenticity, right? When you're in a serious relationship, there's always a little bit of influence from that person on your life. So it's important to stay grounded in your own character, right? Hello, Enfrance, how are you doing? Three of Wands in the reverse. The Tower. And the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I think there's an exciting new job opportunity or even a social community that is beckoning to our Emperor. Remember, the Emperor does not need to be a man. This is energy that I'm reading, not physicality. But there's an unexpected and rapid change that happens. I know I want something different. This isn't working out between us. If I get a job offer or if someone says they have a spare room and I can rent it, then I'm going to go ahead and do that because that's what I want to do. This is the Morgan Greer. Hello, Ruben. There have been a couple that were like a little bit uncomfortable, yes. I would say it tends to happen more so with the like personal readings that I do separately. So the private readings that I do, or reading, like doing a general reading, and it feels pretty obvious to me that it's like a celebrity or something that's in the news. It always gets a little uncomfortable. Like, yeah. Hello, Gaia. Hello, user. I am not. I am here to read tarot and talk to cool people. Hello, Santiago. How are you doing? Hello, Selena. So we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Rods or Knight of Wands in the reverse. Time to be independent. I'm going to do something that I've always wanted to do, and I do think this Five of Pentacles in the reverse indicates that someone could be getting a raise or making a lot of money by accepting an out-of-town offer. So this seems like a very solid move. I'm letting go of a relationship where it feels kind of empty or hollow, or this person doesn't really want to do right by me. But on the upside, I have this amazing opportunity with regards to my professional career that is going to help me to be more financially stable and move in the direction that I want to as far as my career. So it definitely seems positive, even though it's like because of a relationship ending. But that energy is being put to different use, right? So we have the High Priestess in the reverse. Why do we have that? That's a little bit secretive. Okay, that makes sense. So even though there are, I think, plenty of friends or supportive family members in the Emperor's life, there are perhaps people who are not able to keep secrets. Hello, Merida. How are you doing? Oh, thank you, Snickle Fritz. And as a result, the Emperor feels like I can't really tell a lot of people what my plans are. I know there are people who would judge or get in the way, people who would try to encourage me to reconsider this, but I've already made up my mind. So this could be someone who moves and then tells people that they've made that decision afterwards, right? Hello, Grindtired. How are you doing today? Been talking about me today? And how did she react to text message last night? Aw, that's a sweet message. And has anybody asked about me? I got you, grind hard. And thank you for the tip. Let's see. Should we go with the Masonic Tarot? What do you think? All right. What else do we have? We have the Eight of Wands or the Eight of Gold in the reverse. Just keep in mind with the Masonic Tarot, gold definitely looks like pentacles, but gold is associated with the fire signs in the Masonic Tarot. So this would be Eight of Wands in the reverse and the Tower. We have mallets for pentacles in this deck. So the Tower, again, right? We had that earlier in the previous Tarot of the Cat People pulls, but this is somebody who's making big changes and not advertising it. I'm not going to put it on social media. I'm not going to tell everyone in my family. I'm not going to say much until things have already progressed or gotten to a point where they're not going to change. I'll make an announcement after things have been going, you know? Hello, Zatskia. How are you doing? Oh, I hope that goes well. I'm crossing my fingers for you, grind hard. Oh, you've never had a reading before, Snickle Fritz? Have you been on the channel before? I'm doing well. Thank you, Zatskia. I really enjoy saying your name. It's just so fun. Hopefully I say it right. We have the High Priest, or the Hierophant, and the Knight of Gold, or the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Again, with the Knight of Wands in the reverse and the Hierophant, is kind of an interesting contrast because the Knight of Wands in the reverse came out after the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant are very different energies. One is more about your place within a structure and being towards the top. With the Hierophant, this could be like the boss or someone who has wisdom that is difficult to acquire. But it can also talk about high-level relationships like marriages, and those principles or morals that guide you. The Nine of Pentacles is really more about independence and can be a card that talks about single. So it's almost like we have somebody who feels like in order to be able to walk away from a relationship, I know that I need to be more of a boss energy. I know that I will be responsible for more. I can't just, randomly decide to move out and expect everything to fall in place. It requires some planning and some strategy. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so glad you got one, RBBA. I hope you enjoy the membership content. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Yes, very generous of Erkin. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse and the Five of Cups. So clarity is something that comes a little bit more easily to this Emperor because they are in touch with that intuitive side. The thing is, they feel that the others around them, whether that's family or coworkers or maybe even some friends, they're not really as in tune with their intuition. And there would be a difference of opinion as far as whether or not this drastic change in someone's life is worth it. So we could have like family members who encourage someone to stay in an unhappy relationship, for example. So here's the Eight of Mallets, which would be associated with Earth energy. So the Eight of Pentacles. I think we have somebody who's finding a better job elsewhere and realizing they can do everything on their own. They don't need to stay in this like unhappy relationship. All right, let's see what else we've got. We'll go with the situations deck. Hello, Monisha. How are you doing? No prod. Hello, Sonia. How are you doing? Hello, Ryder. Hello, Newport. Oh, did you? Oh, that's so cool. Hello, Gavin. Hey, Sonia, I'm going to put you in just a little bit of a timeout. And Monisha as well. I would just ask you all that if you want a personal reading or personal question, rather, answered in the live chat, I do those at 30 minutes in and priority to those who tip or donate. I do also like to do some freebies, but I like to make sure that the live chat isn't, pummeled with a bunch of repeat messages. So I appreciate you for making sure that doesn't happen. Hello, what's up, Flower? I've missed you. How are you doing? Hello, Nausicaa. Oh, not so bad, but I get nervous, saying, oh, everything's great. You gotta make sure you see how it goes, right? Hello, Third Eye. Sorry. So we've got Ascension and Love. And what's interesting is I do feel like this love card is referencing two different kinds of love. Love for yourself, which means that you are capable of having boundaries and letting go of connections that are not serving you well. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be so picky that you demand a perfect partner. But if you have somebody who seems intent on holding you back or is uninterested in personal growth on their own, How can you like grow together at that point, right? I don't want to be like dragging someone behind me who's like, but I don't want to learn. When there's this opportunity to be in a connection with somebody who is also trying to learn, and we can help each other. So again, the Emperor is realizing as I ascend, as things have changed for me as far as my perspective, it makes it more difficult for me to connect with people around me because they may see things differently, you know? Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Flower. Sending you healing energy. Thank you for the high fives, Satsukia. Appreciate it. Hello, Pusha. How are you doing? Hello, Sadhu. We have Drama Queen, Thirsty, Causing Chaos, Intervention, and Denial. So whoever you're walking away from is a person that likes to make it seem like everybody else is the problem, which seems to be a somewhat common thing. It's a lack of accountability, right? I'm going to get mad at you for your reaction to something mean that I did to you, or I'm going to take my frustrations out on you when you don't deserve it. So I do feel like with this intervention card, there's someone here who is like the inner circle for this Emperor individual. Someone who said, you know what, I think that's the right thing to do, and if you need anything, let me know. In other words, I don't think this Emperor is like on an island by themselves, not telling anyone what's going on. There is someone here who was like, no, I think it is absolutely a good idea for you to leave. It could even be someone who's saying, I've got a place for you to stay for a couple of weeks until you figure out your side of the things or where you want to go from there, right? Maybe you will have to be a little more specific with your question on that. Let's go with the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. Uninhabited island sounds great. Population, 0. Drama, 0. Well, I guess it would be population 1, though, if you move there, so you might ruin it. Can you have drama with yourself? Knight of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. I think we have somebody who is packing up and starting a new life. I don't want to stay here, or I'm ready for, living on my own or being more independent. I've got a good job this direction, so I just have to figure out where I'm going to live. But with this 7 of Wands, there's someone who's watching your back, someone who's saying, yeah, it's a good time for you to go, or I know how to make this a little bit easier for you, right? It is 12:46 here. Hello, Sam. Do I third eye? Yes, every day. Hello, Rick. Or was that a Truman Show joke? We've got the 3 of Wands again. Ace of Swords in the reverse. There's something that's about to go down, and it's not a good thing. This is major storm warning. Things are getting worse. Someone's temper is unreasonable, or someone is very frivolous with money. This is like I've got to do something to make a change for myself, because if I stay where I currently am, I know things are going to get worse, right? Nope. Talking about living on an island. Granted, it was habited. Maybe I should have been making a joke about Wilson. We've got the 4 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so there could be some commingling of finances that is a concern. So we have somebody that may be assisting with a strategy like, take out a little bit over, several weeks, set it aside, let that add up, and then the day you're going to leave, take a little bit of a larger sum, deliver the news that you're leaving, and maybe it's just leaving a note behind that they find when they get back from work. But then we have somebody who, it's like, I'm avoiding conflict. I don't want to deal with the same old argument. It's not going to change things. I'm done. So I do feel like we have someone trying to be strategic with their finances because they're going to be responsible for their own. I put the cards back in the wrong spot. They're going to be on their own. They're not going to be splitting bills up with anybody. So this is why they're being really strategic and anticipating needing to have some money saved up. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. Hello, April. How are you doing? What else do we have? That does sound like an upgrade. Oh, hello, Hannah. How are you doing, hon? I hope you're having a good day. We have the Eight of Cups, walking away. Six of Cups in the reverse, because you can't change your habits. I've waited and I've hoped that you would learn this lesson, or that you would take seriously the things that we talk about when we have our disagreements. But it seems like I'm always the one trying to ask for something to go better, or for you to treat the relationship with more respect. Again, the theme is I'm over it, I'm leaving, I don't want to do this. And I feel like the Time card that came out at the very beginning is saying I'm going to be very strategic, start saving money first, figure out a job, make sure I have some sort of place to stay lined up. But they're being very strategic. I'm going to, make everything happen all at once seemingly, but I've been planning this for a while. Hello, Oracle. How are you doing? That's what I said, Wilson. Yeah. Tom Hanks was talking to the volleyball and he named it Wilson. Put a little handprint face on it. Oh, thank you, Nausicaa. Let me write this down for you. Do they think, person I'm infatuated with, think of me? As much as I do? And if so, what are their thoughts of me and our connection? I've got that written down for you. And thank you for the tip, Nausicaa. Hello, Dupree. Hello, Future. I hope that goes well for you. Hello, Ray. How's it going? And I think, Nausicaa, you've already been through this or seen other people, but I start the personal questions at about 30 minutes in, so in a couple minutes. Oh, thank you, Satsukia. Should I pursue a relationship with Dwight? Can you guys hear me scribbling furiously? I think it was more pronounced with my other pen. This one seems to be a little bit quieter. How does my love life look for the rest of the year? And what are his real feelings for me? Any advice? And thank you, Hannah. I'll add yours as well. General, you are so welcome. Thank you, everyone. So just a quick heads up, I've got Priyanka, Erkin, if he, I have to check to make sure. I shouldn't say he, I don't know if you are masculine or not, but we've got Priyanka, Erkin, Grindhard, Nausicaa, and then Zatskia and Hannah. And I'll start that in just a few minutes. Hello, Helena, how are you doing? I hope you find one, John, perhaps in the live chat. We have the King of Cups in the reverse. Somebody who is going to throw a fit when you walk away. Someone who is, I think, kind of dependent upon you. It could be financially, because it does seem like we have somebody who is irresponsible with money or creates an unstable environment at the very least. So this King of Swords is the Emperor energy. Again, doesn't have to be a man, but this is somebody who's saying, I have to draw the line somewhere. I have to move towards a different direction because clearly this isn't where I need to be, or this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Ace of Pentacles. This is that offer, someone who has the opportunity to make it go much smoother for themselves in a different location. But first they have to get through walking away from a relationship that has not really been doing very well lately. So it's that last little like nudge that they needed to let go of that relationship. Hello, Selena. Yep. Elena, I don't think I have any control over that. I don't have a microphone that I'm using, but I have heard that people have a better sound experience if they're using headphones, if you have those. Hey, Android, I'm going to ask you to respect people's religious freedoms. So I'm going to put you in a little baby timeout, but when you come back, I hope you feel welcome to join again. Hello, Nouvelle, how are you doing? All right, let's, what should we use? We're going to go with the Hocus Pocus Tarot, and we'll start with those personal questions. We've got Priyanka up next, or sorry, first. Let's see what the current feelings from Local Dev are towards Priyanka. What is he feeling towards Priyanka right now? Ten of Lightning or Ten of Swords in the reverse. The King of Potions or King of Cups. And the Nine of Lightning or Nine of Swords. Interesting. So I feel like we've got a sense of holding back and reserving judgment for a little bit. Almost like, oh, I maybe was a little unfair to you. Maybe I assumed the worst of you when I should have given you the benefit of the doubt, or maybe I need to just kind of like be cautious with what I say. Because I don't want to ruin things. So it kind of feels like we have someone stepping back a little bit from feeling frustrated with you. Is there a desire to, yeah, it's like I maybe read things wrong. Page of Candles or Page of Wands in the reverse. Two of Cups in the reverse. And the Moon. So, is this saying there's someone else that they stopped talking to? Okay, so it's like I'm trying to figure out where should I focus my attention? And are you, connected in a way that competes with our connection? So hesitant but less presumptuous. What are the next actions? Justice and the Seven of Cups or Seven of Potions in the reverse. This is going to be communication or a decision that makes it clear, here's what I want. Let's talk about what you want. Is it the same thing, right? So I think it's very direct communication. Hello, Nizzle. How are you doing? I wish you luck on that, Priyanka. And I don't remember if I saw... I'm just going to pull a few cards for Erkin. What do we have for a message for Erkin, please? Seven of Pumpkins or Seven of Pentacles with the Six of Swords and Queen of Pumpkins or Queen of Pentacles. Erkin, I see some investment or something you've been interested in seeing do well, improve, or go better than you expected. So it's like I put in the Seven of Pentacles and I was hoping to get like 8 or 9 of Pentacles out, but now you got the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like maybe this is more than a side hustle, or maybe this is a really important relationship or friendship in my life. I thought you just had jokes, or I thought this was just going to be a short-term thing, but this ends up becoming something bigger than you expected or better than you expected. All right, let's see what we have for Grind Hard. Let's get a different tarot deck though. This is the Santa Muerte. All right, so has the wifey been talking about Grind Hard today? I don't see a lot of communication happening. Seems to be a kind of slow day as far as having to, you know, converse. Maybe even like a day off, or, you know, just kind of chilling. But I do feel like there's a lot of contemplation with the High Priestess. This is like trying to leverage intuition to understand what was said. What was the reaction to the good night text? Seven of Cups and the Ten of Wands. This is like wondering if you're hiding something. Like, was there more you wanted to say before you said goodnight? It's like when you see the 3 little dots, but then the 3 little dots disappear and no message is sent, and you're like, but it looked like you were going to say something. It's like I wanted to say something, or I thought you were going to say something more, and then you ended the conversation. I think she was expecting you to say more. And then you're like, okay, see you later. Wondering whether or not there's like a really deep connection here. And has anybody asked about Grind Hard today? No, but again, it seems to be saying, with another 8, I might add, that there doesn't seem to be a lot of communication going in or out. It seems to be kind of a slow day, a slow news day, if you will. Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's a little bit of irritation happening. Is this why she's isolated or can't kind of like not talking to people? Wow, with the 4 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this is like I'm irritated or I'm frustrated about something. So as far as talking to other people, like, can I just get like a day off? Like, everybody leave me alone. There's something here that has upset her. So I hope you can figure out what's going on with that Grind Hard. I know. I agree, maybe. I mean, I guess it kind of helps. Like, okay, at least someone's responding, but dang. All right, so we have Nausicaa up next. The person that Nausicaa is infatuated with, do they think of Nausicaa as often as Nausicaa thinks of them? Oh, indeed. Yes, but there's something this person feels is a block to your connection. In other words, maybe you have a lot in common. Maybe you're physically attracted to each other. Maybe you're, I don't know, into the same kind of music. But there is something that does not work. It could be you want kids, I don't want kids. You like to go to live music shows, I hate that. You want to live on the beach, I want to live in the desert. I mean, granted, they're staying in both, you guys. You can make it work. There's something here where they're like, I just don't know how we would make it work. Six of Wands. Star in the reverse, 3 of Pentacles. The problem is a third party. So there could be a controlling family member, there could be a jealous ex, there could be an overly influential friend who's non-committal, or just a D-bag. Oh, I could never live in the desert. Like, I respect the people who, like, love that because I think there's some really cool aesthetics out there. But, like, when I have a rough day, I want to go sit and, like, watch water. You know? Get a fish tank, Carmen. Or, like, a koi pond, right? All right. So, if so, and yes, they do, what are their thoughts regarding Nausicaa and the connection? That I need to do something. I can't just, you know, sit here. But Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, this is somebody who may be lacking in confidence. Even if they have confidence for other things, it seems like they're sitting at a green light. Like the universe is saying, go for it. And they're like, I don't know. It's a little scary. I'm just going to sit here. I'm safe if I just sit here. Probably not, though. If it's a green light, there's going to be somebody coming up behind you being like, honk, honk, let's go. Oh, close but no cigar, Decky. Hello, Scott. How are you doing? And what about the connection? I don't want to walk away. So it's like I see that there's a potential problem or a potential block that maybe we aren't like 100% suited to each other, but I don't want to walk away. Definitely some temptation. I hope you're able to have a conversation about this and get everything out in the open soon, Nausicaa. All right, so we have Zatska up next. Should I pursue a relationship with Dwight? I'm going to grab a different tarot deck. This is the Spanish tarot. Should Zatska pursue a relationship with Dwight? No. Page of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Gold in the upright, and Five of Swords in the reverse. There's somebody that he needs to forgive before he could be in a committed relationship. Something that is like a burden or even like just a resentment that blocks love from happening the way that it should. Hello, Apurva. I hope you're having a good day. Let me know what your question is. Ooh, wow. Please do not be repeating your comments like that. That's a little overwhelming. Will he reach out? If yes, when? I've added that. And thank you again for the tip. So let's get a little bit more information on this Dwight question. We have the High Priest in the reverse, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I mean, how Dwight approaches relationships is negatively impacted by someone that they have not forgiven. It could be an ex, it could be someone in their family, but this is a huge block. It's like it impacts how they speak to you or whether or not they're open with their emotions. It's just like it's not going to work for a relationship because they need to address this problem. What about the love life for the rest of the year for Zatska, please? Strength in the reverse, Two of Wands. I see a very big temptation as far as someone that you are, like, this is making me blush, and that doesn't happen a lot. This person's going to be pursuing you very confidently, but this is someone who is a charmer, someone who is here for a good time, not a long time. And is likely trying to connect with you and others at the same time, so do not give into this temptation. And does Dwight have real feelings for Saskia? Yes. Just doesn't know what to do with them. Gotta address that forgiveness and let go of a thing from the past so that they can actually see the connection that you two have. They're still blinded by something from the past. I saw it, Apurva. I wrote it down for you. I've got one more question for Saskia, and then Hannah before you, and then it'll be your turn, Apurva. What do you think, Scott? Do you have a guess? I think I would have chosen Hufflepuff, but I don't think that's how it works, right? Is that what it is? Am I remembering that wrong? What's the Huff one? All right, so what about advice? What advice do we have for Saskia? Devil in the reverse, 4 of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles. Do not overinvest in someone who is expecting you to give more than they're willing to give you. Reject someone before getting too tied up in that connection. And look for something that is, you know, aligned to what you actually want for that long term, right? Hello, Carla. How are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to remove that comment because I'm not in favor of discouraging people from divorce. It's not always the answer. It's not always the most fun thing to go through, but to equate it with sin is a bridge too far in my live chat, okay? So please be respectful in the live chat that people have to be able to make changes in their life, right? Hello, is it Tamer? How are you doing? I don't really have a problem with that word, but I do have a problem with people who are trying to like make judgments on that. I'm not here making spells for people. I don't really believe that that's a good use of my time. But I do think it's important to help people get validation for their intuition. All right, Saskia, I am wishing you the very best, and we're going to move on to the general reading for Hannah. What do we have for Hannah, please? 2 of Cups. Loving energy. Ace of Pentacles. This is a love offer. There's someone who is looking at you like you are the best thing that happened to them. But they haven't communicated this. We have Judgment in the reverse. This is like, I think this is what I want, but I'm a little bit hesitant to actually confess that. Hello, Richard. How are you doing? Hello, Rogue. All right. So this is somebody who has been a bit shy or a bit reserved around you. You may have noticed some change in their behavior. But this is a very intelligent person, maybe a little bit more analytical and not as great at reading body language or knowing what your feelings might be for them. So contemplating whether or not it is time to confess that what they want is to be able to invest in a relationship with you or, you know, get to know you better. Oh, thank you, Mamie. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have a specific question, Mamie. I would love to do a reading for you real quick. And congratulations to the folks who got added to the membership. I hope you know how to find the content. There is a separate tab on my channel page towards the right that says memberships, and you'll find shorts and regular videos, not live streams, but also live streams, depending on what level. If you upgrade to stars or towers, then you get access to those members' live streams. All right, so I hope this means that this is a love offer you are interested in. You did say general, but it came through with some love for you. Somebody is interested in you, and I think admires how you approach your work or admires your like tenacity. So I love that for you, Hannah. Let's get a few more from the Golden Girls. We've got Apurva up next. Hello, Mr. Turd. How are you doing? Hello, Carol. How's your day? So for Apurva, we've got, will he be reaching out or will he reach out? This is saying no. Right now, it feels to me like he's focused on peace and quiet, not really wanting to deal with a lot of other people or conflicts. Is this going to change? Is there going to be a time where he decides to... Because so if there's a point where it's like, okay, I think I can handle the other stuff now, then this changes. But right now the mindset is, I'm not interested in talking. I don't think it'll be, a good use of time. I feel like we would just end up arguing. But when something kind of clicks for this person and they feel like their life is back to a little bit more peaceful or calm, then it's okay. Now maybe we should talk, right? Dang, that's pretty rude. You wish the worst for me, and I'm going to turn around and wish the best for you. And I hope that you find some healing and some support in your life. If you want to make changes in your life, the best thing that you can do is make sure that the energy that you do have is routed into things that help you progress in life instead of trying to tear down others. That's just a waste of your energy, you know? You're welcome, Apurva. So the number 6 did come through. I do feel like the shift in mindset happens in about 6 months. And this is a fresh take or looking at things with a little bit less resentment, right? Yeah, you know what? People who send that kind of negative energy out don't realize that it's like accelerating too fast in your car. You're wasting gas. You're spending more money to get from point A to point B because of how you drive. Don't make fun of me, or do. But I watch my miles per gallon. I'm pretty proud of my miles per gallon. I can go fast without going through my gas real fast. But we've got to be very cognizant of what we do with the energy that we have and what that impact is, right? Okay, so maybe I'm going to pull a few cards for you. Hello, is it Ronak? Hello, Universal, how are you doing? Exactly, Mamie. David, no, they are white Christmas lights. And then I have some candles. All right, so what do we have for Mamie, please? Mamie, we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. A decision that someone feels like neither of the options are good, or I don't really feel good about any of it. Maybe a little bit fearful over how things are going to end up or who's going to be upset. This is like the best picture possible for too many cooks in the kitchen, right? 3 of Pentacles, normally a very positive card, but it's with Judgment in the reverse. So let's just make an analogy or an example, right? If you were planning a wedding and you had to take everybody's opinions in your family seriously and implement it in your wedding, instead of just having, oh, I don't know, like 2 decision makers, people getting married, before long it becomes really difficult to manage all of that, right? You have too many people trying to make decisions. So there's a need here to kind of refocus or re-engineer what's going on here, because it's like, I don't think I could please everybody all at once. Whereas if you're making the decisions based on how you want to do things, I feel like you end up with the best possible scenario, right? Ooh, is there someone coming back from the past for Mimi? Not for a little bit, but I do see, this feels to me like more like maybe a year from now. But we have someone who is in the somewhat distant future going to come back around and want to gift you something or offer you something and be very honest about what happened between the two of you. Yeah, I feel like this is about a year away. This is someone who feels like there's unfinished business. And someone who views you as the high priestess. Someone who's wiser than the others that they have encountered. They like literally view you as the smartest person they know. Welcome back, Hannah. I did just do your question 2 questions ago. So I would guess if you rewind like maybe like 3-4 minutes. Yeah, I mean, granted, it could be this person decides to speed up that timeline, but I feel like they're still working through some things. They're not quite ready. With the 8 of Swords, this is somebody who has to let go of a conception or like a belief that they have. It could be as simple as like men aren't supposed to cry. It's something that probably a lot of people believe, but I firmly believe that if you have an emotion, you should probably express it, even if that means that you cry. Now, you know, we probably don't want to be crybaby, and there are probably more effective ways to communicate that we are upset, like with words. But I don't agree with the idea that like an entire gender shouldn't be allowed to cry. You know what I mean? So we've got somebody here who needs to change their perspective and find a different way to approach romance in particular. And once that happens, what they want to do is come back around and see you. Thank you, Hannah. Let's go a little bit deeper on the love. I hope you saw it. The person who's a little bit shy that's interested in you. This is someone who really admires your work ethic, Hannah. And thank you again to Mimi. I agree. Hello, Lab. I hope you're having a good day. All right. So, what do we have for Hannah regarding love? Empress in the reverse. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. There's someone here who's upset, feeling like they don't have your energy in their life anymore. So this could be someone you're no contact with. This is a person who feels like you've been unfair to them. They don't like that you have boundaries, so you likely cut this person off, or if they try to communicate after they cut you off, you were not interested in returning the message. So with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, we have someone who feels like they have lost you forever. I think you sense that this person had some emotional distress that they didn't know how to deal with, or, you know, some need for working through past problems. So you're coming through as the King of Swords. Very knowledgeable, seen as very bright. Maybe a little bit too smart because you saw that this wasn't going to be worth your time or that you shouldn't invest in this. But they still feel like there should be more to the story between the two of you. And you feel like this person is too secretive or elusive. And I feel like you're right. With the Six of Wands, this is you overcoming a challenge or like passing a test. So has Hannah leveled up with regards to love life? Knight of Pentacles. You're progressing past some of the stuff that used to get in your way or used to distract you from the meaningful connections. Now you realize that there are some people who like to manipulate within relationships, and you're able to like recognize those moves. So I feel like you walked away from someone who wanted to manipulate you and thought you were more kind than intelligent, and now they realize you're more intelligent than kind. That's not an insult. That just means you're not going to hand out your kindness or be pleasant and loving and there for somebody who thinks that they're better than you. Like that's a weird thing to do. Yes, go on and worship me. I didn't want to do anything nice for you, but like, tell me how great I am. So you're indomitable. You're not someone that can be messed with because your intelligence, your perceptiveness, your intuition, it clues you into this. So yes, you are leveling up. You're not tolerating the same kind of energy, and it's manifesting in a different connection for you. There is this shy person who's admiring you, so they may be confessing to you. With the Five of Swords in the reverse, you're not interested in putting yourself in relationships where you're going to be disappointed. And you're going to be a little more discerning, right? Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Zatsuka. Hey, Draman, I'm trying to make it clear that I really don't like it when people spam the live chat, and then after I timed you out for it, you came back and you did it again. I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I will read a free question for you if I see you in the live chat again and you're not spamming the live chat. Deal? Yeah, you deserve way better than that, Audrey. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? All right, we're over an hour, so I'm going to leave it there, everyone. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. Thank you for being you. Don't let anybody tell you you deserve less than you do, okay? And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.